everybody, Chris here. Welcome back to another episode of Woodmere State Revival. Today I'm knocking out a bunch of small projects around the house. I just finished up in Grant's bathroom, working on his vanity, putting the knobs and handles on the vanity and medicine cabinet. Now I'm downstairs in the kitchen, getting ready to work on some outlets and switches. Where we had the tile backsplash put up by our friend Lawrence, we never did get the outlets and switches mounted and the covers back on everything. It's been like that since he finished up the job. I've got to do a little bit of work to get them ready. Let me show you what I'm getting into here. So this is the style of switches that we use. It's a paddle or rocker style switch. And the thing about these is the screws sit outboard of the mounting screw. And so they actually sit beyond the edge of the tile here. And so what I'm gonna have to do is use a Dremel tool with a tile cutting or masonry bit on it to actually bevel that out a little bit to give room for the screw to get into the hole. Because right now, the way the tile is sitting, as they go in, they actually hit the tile and push the switch back out. So I'm gonna have to mark each one of these and then go back with the Dremel tool and the masonry blade. It's got a diamond blade on it, and we'll go through and we'll notch each one of those so that we can go ahead and get those things to fit and get down tight against the cover. So let me get these marked, and then we'll actually go ahead and notch some of these out for you. All right, so we got our first set of switches done here, and we didn't have to take very much out of the top. You can see we just barely had to notch the top tiles. The bottom had to go in a little bit further, just because of the way the switch is sitting in the opening there. But it didn't have to go all the way through, just had to notch out a little recess there. And I'm just using this diamond bit, if I can focus on it here, using this diamond bit on my Dremel tool. These things work great for tile and stone and other things. If you've got to take a little nip off of something or cut a little groove in it, they work real well for that. I used it a lot on our slate tile project here to kind of clean up some tiles. All right, I'm gonna get this one screwed back together and get the cover on it, and we'll move on. Okay, this one is done. Just got the cover plate screwed on there. Actually ended up having to take all of the switches loose again and trim a few of them down a little bit more, make the recess a little bit deeper, and then put it all back together again and put the cover plate back on again because a couple of the screws wouldn't go in. But that one's done. That was the worst of all of them. Now I'm moving over here. I've actually got to change this outlet out and this outlet and switch. And these are left over from construction. This was what our contractor put in when they were testing the electric system, and they just left these in here for us, which is fine because they ended up getting painted and they got drywall compound on them and everything else. So we are swapping these out for some brand new ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the breaker and get these swapped out, and then I'll be able to go ahead and trim the tile back just a little bit and get the cover plates installed on these as well. So I flipped the breaker off and swapped out the outlet and just marked my little blue dots on the tile there, top and bottom, so I know exactly where I need to cut with the diamond bit on the Dremel tool. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and we'll get this one mounted, get the cover plate on, and keep moving on down. Got another one done. Turned out nice. Everything lines up nicely with the tile. And of course, all the screw heads are oriented in the proper direction. Yeah, I'm a little anal about that. I don't like the screw heads going in different directions. So yeah, they all have to be perfectly lined up. All right, it's an issue, but I'm working through it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off. Now this one is the switch for the light over top of the sink, and then another outlet. So we'll go ahead and take those out and swap those out with some brand new switches and outlets. And then we'll get those marked, get those notched, and get it installed. I'm gonna have to work a little magic with the cover plate. As you can see, the stool comes right up there on the edge of where the cover plate's gonna go. So, I'm gonna get that figured out. Either gotta trim the stool back or trim the cover plate. Not sure which is going to be easier. All right, I've got myself into a rat's nest of wiring here, as my dad would always say. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this box, but I got enough of it out of the way. I was able to go ahead and make the marks on the tile there. So now we're going to go ahead and get those cut down with our trusty Dremel tool. What do you think, hon?
Yay.
Making lots of noise, lots of smoke, or dust?
Yeah.
Pretty awesome though. It's looking better though, isn't it?
Yes, each one makes the kitchen look more complete.
Love it.
I can't believe it's taken us a year to do this.
I know, we've had other things going on, right?
Right. What you doing?
Scribing a switch plate.
With a protractor?
Yep. Set the distance between here and here as my...
Ah. Okay.
And I'm using that to try to mark this so I can trim this pan, or this cover. Of course, pencil doesn't work very well on
Plastic.
plastic.
I
If you
think
do it over and over enough, it usually makes a decent mark on there.
Okay. Yeah, oh yeah, you can see it. Cool.
Well, it's on, and boy, was it easy.
Said no one.
It's not easy at all. The outlet box was in there crooked behind the tile, and I moved the left side outlet up or down as far as I could go, and the right side outlet up as far as I could go, and it still wasn't wanting to align with the switch plate or look straight. But it's not bad. This is pretty parallel here, and my little job trimming the switch plate with a Dremel tool turned out pretty nice. Actually looks good. I'm actually proud of that. So that's that for that. Right?
Yeah. Let's call it a day.
Yeah. Good plan. So I'm going to clean up and get out of Amber's kitchen so she can actually, finish dinner or clean up or, yeah.
We're ordering pizza.
Pizza it is. Pizza it is. All right, so I'm going to finish cleaning up my mess here, and tomorrow we'll start on the other side of the sink, get those done, and then move over and get the ones done by the range.